Hello, I'm Sean Skinner. Welcome to this amazing DVD entitled Backward Edges and Crossovers. I have researched hockey skating techniques for over 20 years. I have taken exercises from all over the world to bring this DVD to you. This DVD is different from any other instructional hockey source in the world for two reasons: the progression of exercises and the sheer volume of material. First, and the key to this DVD, is the progression. Not just any progression, but a scientific, detailed progression of backward edges and crossovers. I have organized these skills into chapters and a progression of movement patterns within each chapter. Then, I have presented these movement patterns in an order of technique, strength, and power exercises. This is all better understood from the hockey skating flow chart. Second is the sheer volume and depth of material covered. I have synthesized and assembled a comprehensive research on this topic from over 60 years of the current body of instructional sources on skating from all over the world. This is not just my own thoughts on skating, but a presentation of all sources combined. Where other videos of the past have shown 10 to 15 minutes on this particular topic, I will endeavor to show over an hour and a half of techniques and exercises. There is no place, there is no source in the world where you can get the volume and the detail of training that you are about to see. I've even included a bibliography on my website so that players and coaches can see the volume and the depth of research that has gone into this DVD. This DVD will provide the player or coach, whether beginner or professional, with a what to do and how to do it progression to attain the ultimate level of hockey skating skill for backward edges and crossovers. In today's game, the ultimate level is playing in the NHL. If a player wants to play in the NHL or just be a better player, they need to be able to do as many, if not all, of the skating exercises in all of the DVDs in this series. If they could do that, they could skate better than an NHL player. I hope that this extensive collection will improve hockey players for years to come. Let's get started. Okay, before we get started into the exercises and the skill progression, we want to talk about our edges. We have 4 edges. We have 2 inside edges. By leaning in, we're on the inside of the skate. We have 2 outside edges by leaning out, leaning in and leaning out. We have 8 edges in motion according to figure skating. In motion, we have an outside and an inside edge on the right foot going forward, and an outside and an inside edge on the left foot going forward, and then the same going backwards. An outside and an inside edge on the right foot, and an inside and outside edge on the left foot. 8 edges in motion, 4 edges. Now, there's also something else that some people call a flat edge, which is not true. There is the flat of the skates. It's not an edge. That's being right on top of the skate. Okay, so then from there, we also have to be able to lean. We have to be able to lean so that we're on an inside and an outside edge. And we have to be able to windshield wiper, turning both feet in and both feet out. In and out, in and out. And the last one is the ability to come up on the toe of the skate and to come up on the heel of the blade. The next thing we need to talk about is knee bend. It's the most important thing before we do any technique out here on the ice. It works like this. Coaches have said and players have heard, bend your knees, bend your knees. So we could think that if we got into a deep knee bend like this, where the butt is sitting back, even though I'm bending a lot, I've got a good knee bend, but I really don't. My knee is back here, and I'm sitting back. So saying bend the knees doesn't equate right to the player. What we need to say is flex the ankle. If I flex the ankle, that puts the leg forward, puts the weight forward on the skate, and the knee will actually be bent out in front of the skate. If you flex your ankle, you will bend your knee. And if you bend your knee, you may not flex the ankle far enough for skating for ice hockey. It also translates like this in speed. If I bend my knee, but I don't bend it enough, and I take a push off, I end up pushing off out here this far. And if I bend my knees, well, now I can push off way out here twice as far. It's the most important thing when we talk about speed and technique, knee bend. We're going to start off here talking about body position. Almost every video that's been made in the history of hockey starts off talking about body position. But what they show is a player with their knees bent standing straight up and down, and that's just it. That's nice for a figure skater or a speed skater, someone trying to look beautiful. We're not about looking beautiful. We got to be strong. So player has good position when their knees bent and they can take the hit, the push on the skate from behind. This is good body position. Our first exercise here in the backward skating progression is to do a 2-foot toe push. It looks like this. You point your heels out to the side with your toes together and you push away, snapping the toe of the skates. Okay, we're going to comment right away on this 2-foot toe push. We've already talked about strong knee bend, and players will do this. They'll get into a strong knee bend, and then they'll bob. They'll go up and down. They'll push and they'll come up, and they'll go back down, and they'll push and they'll come up, and they'll go back down, and they'll push, they'll come up. And what we want players to do is we want them to bend down in this low knee bend and stay there. And then from here, push and come back, push and come back, push and come back, and don't bob up and down. We're going to do this technique again down the ice. Our first time down the ice, we made the 2-foot toe push strong and deliberate. This time we're going down the ice really quick. So it's like this again. We get into that strong knee bend, let our legs come out, and then quickly. Now we're going to take a look at our first backwards plyometric exercise on this 2-foot toe push. Here, we're asking the players to go out to the side and jump together, to push off and jump their feet up together. Common mistakes that the players are going to make is players will do this. Players will let their feet go out all the way and then jump together. Players will go out and come back in and then jump up. And what we really want players to do is we want them to push as they're going out. So as they're going out, we want them to push and jump back together. So if I could draw a little graphic on the ice like this, we're asking for them to move their feet out to the side, and while they're moving their feet out to the side, they're pushing away with the toe of the blade, toe push. So it would look like this, that they're in this position, going out and then snapping back together. Snap. Another way to work on this toe heel push is jumping back and forth over a stick like this. Our next exercise for the 2-foot toe push is to go down the ice on the outside edge the whole time and would look like this.